I watched Jigra in the theaters because the trailer was cut superbly, and a lot of people, including me, were starting to believe that Alia Bhatt can be seen as a dependable action lead. But I was left disappointed, and after rewatching the film on Netflix, I have the same complaints with the film. First things first, the setup of the film is pretty no BS. Ankur and Satya, who are siblings, have lost their parents at a young age and they are being taken care of by their distant uncle. And when Ankur, played by Vedang Raina, and the uncle's son Kabir go for a business deal to a fictional land called Hanshidao, are caught possessing drugs, the only penalty for this is death by electrocution. Kabir's lawyer convinces him to pass on the blame to Ankur, who is apparently innocent. And when this news reaches Satya, played by Alia Bhatt, she decides to take matter in her own hands. What lengths will she go to? Will she succeed or not? All of this unfolds in the film. And the running time of the film is 2 hours and 33 minutes, and this setup is established in the first 20-25 minutes. So there is an ample amount of time for action fueled sequences. Alia Bhatt was also great in the film. A lot of the critics were saying that Alia is responsible for this film's failure at the box office, but I beg to differ. She plays her part pretty well, though she wasn't exceptional. But she plays the role of an elder sister, always looking out for her younger sibling, like we all would expect in real lives. She does her part pretty well. Apart from Alia Bhatt, a couple of supporting actors played their part pretty well. Hansraj Landa, played by Vivek Gombar, who is the warden of the jail. Aryan Khanna, played by Ryan, who is a fellow inmate of Vedang Raina. And Manoj Pahwa, who is an ex-gangster, all did justice to their roles. But my biggest gripe with the film was that there was not much depth to any character for that matter. Like the film is entirely based on this brother sister duo or the sibling dynamic, but we don't get to see any of this relationship unfolding in the flashback, in the present, or them being hopeful for the future. It's just assumed कि हाँ भाई ये लोग बचपन से साथ में हैं, they have lost their parents at a young age, तो obviously वो लोग close होंगे. But none of the flashbacks except this one incident, which is also taken for granted, like Vedang Rena when he's younger, he's getting bullied and Alia steps in, and that's the only scene. Like उसमें भी कौन उसको बुली करा था, आलिया ने उसको कैसे सेव किया या उसको कैसे कन्फ्रंट किया, none of this is shown in an elaborate manner. And I think that was my biggest complaint with the film, that the relationship was not properly established. लाइक मैं कन्विंस ही नहीं हुआ कि वो दोनों इतने क्लोज क्यों है, जस्ट बिकॉज दे ग्रू अप विदाउट देयर पेरेंट्स. Second thing was the action sequences, like except the one scene when Satya and Muthu, an ex-policeman who has wrongly convicted someone in the same jail, they have a fist fight. A lot of the people were saying that the fight was not choreographed properly, but I believe that that was the most authentic fight in the film because Satya is not a trained professional, and Muthu, obviously being an ex-policeman, he's very much trained, he's stronger than Satya, but eventually he loses the fight, and the entire scene feels very raw and feels very relatable to a common man who is trying to break his limits in order to save someone they love. So that scene was very authentic, but apart from that, none of the action scenes made me jump from my seat or got me so curious that I was completely engrossed while watching the film. There is a weird half-baked scene when Satya is on the roof of the jail and the warden is fighting three prisoners at the same time in a 3 versus 1 handicap WWE match, which just doesn't feel authentic. Like I get that he must be stronger than the prisoners, but the way it is portrayed, it is not really believable. Film went on for over 2 hours and 30 minutes, but I never got to know the motive. Like Manoj Pahwa is shown to be an ex-gangster, but how did he get involved? How his son got into jail? It's just quickly brushed through, and before you get connected to the character, they move on to the next scene. Same with the warden. He looks Indian, and because of this, Ankur speaks in Hindi with him, and he says that I don't understand this language. At the end, he's shown that you have betrayed my only life's moral and everything. But what's the motive behind him being so passionate? None of it is explored. And I think the most underwhelming performance was the guy who played Muthu. Like he's always either confused or depressed, but at the end he's shown to be more of a self-righteous person, that he will always do the right thing come what may. but that isn't portrayed with much conviction. Having mentioned all of this, I would rate this film a 2.5 out of 5 for the prison break concept finally making its way into India, and for the performances of Alia Bhatt, Vivek Gombar, and Manoj Pahwa. Anyways, if you guys have watched the film, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you soon with another video. Take care.